Welcome to Action Coaching. I'm certainly delighted that you joined me on today because I believe that God has a special coaching word just for you. Allow me to thank God for all of my action coaching partners. I appreciate you joining me. And if you're watching me on YouTube, I want you to hit subscribe and like and let others know about action coaching because the goal of action coaching is I understand that nobody makes it by themselves in life. The reason we have coaches or mentors or guides, whatever term you want to use, is sometimes people who have already went the way can get an opportunity to reach back to those who are on their way to give them some tips as to how they can navigate certain things in their journey in life. Now, action coaching is not designed to try to change you to the perspective that you got to be like somebody else. It's just simply designed to just give you from the experiences I have had, others have talked to me about, and I've talked to others about as to how to guide you so that you can experience your best life now. And that's what action coaching is all about. And so certainly I want you to let others know about action coaching. Perhaps that something that is said on action coaching will motivate you to take action on it or apply it to your everyday life so that you can change every situation that you are in for the better, because that's what we want you to have. We want you to have not just some success, we want you to have a high level of success. And that's why we bring action coaching to you each and every week. Now, this week, I want to talk about achieving goals. A lot of people have goals, and a lot of people will set goals, but very few people achieve those goals. You know, out of year, every year when a new year comes in, on December the 31st, going into January 1st, look like people everywhere say, I am going to make my New Year's resolution. That in this upcoming year, I'm going to change something about my life. And that's what I call my New Year's resolution. I say to myself, yes, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to change my habits. I'm going to change this and that. And chances are when the next year come around and they ain't changed nothing, they saying the same statement again, that this is my New Year's resolution. But the issue is setting goals are different. That you got to understand that you must have a plan. And not only do you have a plan, but you must decide that you are going to stick to that plan and do what is necessary to reach that goal. And these are the things that are so important. So in the time that I got here, let's talk about taking action to achieve those goals. Now, the first thing to achieve any goal is all of us as individuals got to decide the goal within the framework of our ability to achieve that goal. What do it mean? Now, if I'm not 7 feet tall and maybe I'm 5'11", and 5'11" is as far as I'm gonna go, and the person that's 7 feet, they 7 feet and that's as far as they're gonna go. Well, my goal cannot be that I'm gonna be 7 feet tall because I'm 5'11", and that's that. So I gotta learn what to do being 5'11". I can't have the goal of being 7 feet because I didn't grow that tall. And I do not have the ability to do that. Most people set goals outside the scope of their ability to do it. And a lot of people will set real big goals and have problems achieving the steps to the goal. And see, if you don't achieve the steps to a real big goal, then you're not going to be able to achieve that goal. Goals basically one moment at a time, one step at a time, one trial at a time, and you got to be persistent. You got to understand that goals are easy to visualize and look at, but they are very difficult to achieve. Yes, the difficulty that you go through achieving it has got to be something that you embrace, because you'll never achieve that goal. Now, my first point is, I've often understood that achieving goals is not about the things that come along with the goal. In other words, people want to achieve a certain goal so they can be known, or they can have money, or they cannot do anything. All of that, I get it, I understand. And sometimes they just want to achieve something, just turn around and say to somebody else, I told you so. But that's not going to help you get to your goal, because you're doing it for all the wrong reasons. And chances are you'll never achieve your dream, your desire in life. So let's talk about what I learned at achieving goals. First of all, I learned to set a goal based on my talents and ability. In other words, if I don't have a talent to be a doctor or an ability to be a doctor, it's no sense in my goal being that I'm going to be a doctor. Now, everybody in the world ain't doctors or surgeons or flying on rockets to the moon. Everybody is not that. Everybody has a different gift or talent that they can achieve, and achieve it to their maximum. God has placed in all of us different gifts and talents, and we can be uniquely successful in what our gift is and our talent is. So you got to have a vision about the goal you want to achieve based on the talent that you have. And if you do it that way, then you'll be able to totally focus on that. Now somebody said, well, I want some other talent that I see. Well, then you're going to have to be willing to go and work on that talent until you can get that talent down before you can ever move on to the next thing that you want to do. But however, if you discover what your gift and talent is, then, and you start to put the work in at that, you can be very successful. In other words, you don't have to do certain things in life. Sometimes people see certain things in life and feel like that's the only way I could be rich, or I could be famous, or I can have what I want to have. But there are a lot of opportunities and a lot of things that are going on. That people are rich and talented and skilled and enjoying life that you probably don't even know nothing about, but they are doing very well. Most of the time we just focus on the stuff that we can see. But you know, there are a lot of people that are making success at the things you don't see. For instance, we can go shopping and we like the clothes that are in the window outside the store, or if we walked in the store, we saw a certain dress, a certain suit, or certain whatever it is, shirt, blouse, whatever it is that we want to have. Now, understand, we didn't create that suit, shirt, blouse, or dress, or whatever it is we want. Thank God that we may be in the position to buy that particular thing. But behind the scenes, there is some amazing people that are creative and got great sewing skills and designer skills that are making money. And we're walking around in the suit, dress, or whatever it is that they have done, and we paid to have that. And they are making money behind the scenes because they the one that put it together. They have worked on that skill and talent, and they got the ability to put it together, and their goal was to do that in life. So number one, you got to decide a goal for yourself based on your skill and talent. If you don't do that, you're never going to get started. Now, I don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you.
Sitting on my bed, watching a preacher preach on the television screen. And I said to myself, Lord, I can do better than him.
I left off talking about you got to decide a goal based on your skill and talent, and that's what you got to pursue. A lot of times, those of us call it having a vision. Now, vision is the preview of a coming attraction. People can get visions to see that, say for instance, in the movie, before you see the original movie you went to see, you see about 10 minutes what previews of coming attraction. That means that those are movies that already been made, but they haven't released them yet. So vision is a preview of a coming attraction. You got to see and desire a picture of the movie you're going to be a star in. That I have saw the preview, that I'm the star of that because that's my goal. And it's going to come to pass. When God gave me a vision, now the vision did not fit my present situation. If anything, the vision that I saw, when I saw it, said to my present situation, you must be having some kind of bad dream or something, because my present situation said I would never be what I saw in the vision. But the purpose of the vision is to show me that you can go there if you're willing to do what's necessary to pursue this path. So the reason you get focused or you get visions or you get a revelation of this is what I want to do, because if you're not focused on what you want to do, then the next thing that comes along, meaning that you may not be able to do that, and you'll get all pushed off the wrong path trying to do something that you don't have the gift and talent to do. I know a lot of people want to sing, but not everybody can sing. Not everybody has the gift and talent to do that. Singing in the privacy of your home, or because you're having a good shower or a good bath and you know the words to the song and you just want to lift up and sing it there. All good. But singing before thousands of people, you're going to have a skill. And you're going to have to put the work in. And you're going to have to do what's necessary. But you first got to see it. First of all, I used an expression years ago when I be describing to people about visions. I say, You got to go there before you can go there. In other words, I got to see it and believe it before I can get started. And you got to see the goal and believe the goal before you can get started. Because if you don't do that, you will never make it with the goal in your life. So that's the first thing you got to see. Somebody may be saying, how do I see it? Perhaps you need to research and study things that you're already doing and you're capable of doing, and see what opportunities, what goals can be achieved with what you're already doing. And perhaps out of that, it'll birth the vision that you know how to do. And the second thing you have to do once you see it, now here's one that's difficult. You got to prepare to sacrifice. There are going to be some things you're going to have to give up, some places you can't go anymore, some people you cannot hang out with, some own personal habits in your own life. You got to give those up too. You can't rest in those anymore either. If it takes having a certain type body to do something, well, you just can't keep doing what you do and expect to be equipped to handle what you got to handle. There are things you got to give up. There are situations and people you're around that may be a hindrance to the vision and dream that you see that you can go to. When I first got mine, I thought that, hey, I'm so excited about this dream and vision. I want all my friends to know, because I want them to ride down the road with me and we can all enjoy this. But I found out something real fast. Those that I thought would ride down the road with me, and I was so happy to tell them, since they didn't see it, all they did is talk negativity to my dream and to my goal. Now, I don't blame them for that, because a lot of times some good negative talking, some people that telling you can't do something, it is fuel to your drive in life. I cannot begin to tell you, even though I minister the word of God now, how many people told me I never could do it, or I never would be successful the way that I'm doing it. And they told me all kinds of things. If you're going to do it like this, do it like that. Well, them people had goals to do it like this. I had to function in my own goal. I had to stick to my own message. But I cannot tell you how many people told me I couldn't do it. But I saw the picture. So rather than putting a whole lot of people around me telling me what I can't do, I decided to find some people that would tell me what I could do. And so there were a whole lot of sacrifices. Now, you know, the amazing thing about sacrifice is sacrifice ain't easy. Oh yes, sacrifice is going to cause some pain and discomfort. And you're not going to achieve any goal in life if you're not willing to go through some pain and discomfort. If you think everybody going to like you, I can tell you it ain't happening. If you think you're going to go down the road smooth sailing, I can tell you right now, it's not going to happen. If somebody else tell you you don't need to do that, yeah, you're going to have a lot of that. Very few people going to tell you what you can do. So that's the important thing you got to understand. Now remember, we started out saying you got to decide on the goal. Number two, we begin to talk to you, which we're talking about now, is there's going to be some sacrifice. Now, the third point I want to talk to you about is this going to be a whole lot of work. It ain't going to be easy. It ain't supposed to be easy. Because if it's easy, you will not ever appreciate the struggle. Most of the time when people are given something that they didn't have to do anything for, they usually lose it quickly because they don't understand or comprehend the work that went in to provide for them. But it only takes them having to do it themselves that they get the appreciation and the respect for how hard it is to achieve a goal. You gotta understand, it's not the work that you put in. It's not work that you put in when you feel like it. You got to put the work in 24/7. You got to focus your mind on morning, noon, and night. I'm going to make sure that I put the work in to do what I'm supposed to do. I remember when I first started the ministry, my goal was tell people put the word in action. That's all it focuses on. I want to focus on being known, being one of the best preachers in town, or everybody would just give me rave reviews. I was just focused on doing the best I could to achieve my goal. And when I achieved the goal, it brought all the other stuff, but I wasn't focused on that. I wasn't focused on having a large church. I wasn't focused on having members. Matter of fact, I didn't have no members at that time, so I used to go downtown and just tell everybody if I put the word in action. That job, I did it like a job. I went consistently, and I did it, and I kept doing it. I put the work in. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew that I was not going to be shortchanged in putting the work in. Goals are great. Dreams are great. Possessing them are great. But they don't come without certain sacrifices and work. And you got to understand that part of it. Now I've broken down these points to you because there are a lot of you that are watching me. And don't let time go by and you waste your opportunity to go forth with your vision. Get ready. Do it now. Go for it now. Like I say, take that action now. And there are some amazing opportunities waiting on you as you achieve the goals that God has given you in your life. Now, I don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you. Welcome back. Certainly thank God for the opportunity to share with you today on Action Coaching. I trust that some of the points I've given you are helping you, and you're going to begin to strive toward them. Because God got great things in store for all of us. But we got to be willing to practice the principles of success. The principles that it takes for us to achieve goals in our life. And I'm almost assured that those of you that are watching Action Coaching, don't focus on where you are, focus on where you want to go. And you're going to watch God do great things in your life. Before I leave you on today, I certainly want to challenge you to sit down and sow a generous seed faith offering for the support of Action Coaching. By you sowing the Action Coaching is helping us to do bigger and better things and be able to coach people everywhere and to offer them tips to their success, because my goal is to see everybody go forth and achieve their dreams. And I believe that that can happen. So I want to encourage you to sit down and sow a generous seed faith offering for the support of Action Coaching. Some can sow 100, some can sow 200, some are even more blessed than that, and you can sow a tremendous amount of money to Action Coaching. I want you to know I thank you. I appreciate you sowing that seed. And I want you to know that God will richly bless you for the seed that you've sown on today. And I thank God so much that you're willing to invest in Action Coaching. There's a link in my bio that will give you a host of ways to sow unto the ministry. And I believe that God will richly bless you if you go to that link and sow that seed on today. Thank you for your support of Action Coaching. Thank you for standing with us. Thank you for praying and encouraging us and letting me know that you enjoy the coaching tips that I come and give each and every week. Well, the Lord bless you. I've certainly enjoyed sharing with you. And I want to encourage you as I do each and every week. Share the word with a friend and keep the word in action.